I'm Jams, and this is my boy CK1 Shock. Let's talk about a cologne. And I'm calling this a cologne because Calvin Klein makes pretty basic bro fragrances. And for the average dude, we call these colognes, okay? Get over it. But technically it's an eau de toilette, James, not a Shut it! Just quiet for 1 second. Everybody knows CK1. Very, very mainstream, popular fragrance from yesteryears. Very fresh, very clean, very, very overused as well. When CK1 Shock came out, it was a shock to the world. Because this fragrance doesn't smell all that fresh. In fact, it is a very sweet fragrance. When I first used to wear this back in the Dizzle, I couldn't really distinguish what was going on, but all I knew is, man, was it sweet. But now that I've trained my nose with some nose press, this keeps a little bit of CK1's freshness by introducing a bit of clementine in the opening, but that clementine is really dominated by sweet, fresh tobacco. The sweet tobacco is then followed by some masculine lavender and patchouli, and then some beautiful spicy cardamom. Although I hear performance varies from person to person, I get great performance with CK1 Shock. About 2 hours of solid projection, and it's noticeable on my skin for about 6 to 7 hours. I dig my nose in real tight. Why I love this. One of the nicest openings in designer fragrances. And that's saying a lot coming from Calvin Klein. They're more known for safe, fresh fragrances, so the fact that they came up with something so sweet but masculine was a really big accomplishment in my opinion. Now, even though this has a lot of sweet spiciness to it, there is still the CK1 freshness with the clementine and the lavender, which can make it feel a bit synthetic or chemically, whatever you may call it. But it's that synthetic quality that does make it feel a bit clean, which gives it a little more versatility than a standard sweet tobacco fragrance. Why I don't like this fragrance? The presentation's tacky. Don't really like the bottle. I also don't like that it doesn't come with a cap. So as some of you frag heads know, if the atomizer is constantly exposed to air and not protected by a cap, it's more likely to impact the fragrance inside because oxygen is going to be exposed to it. And there's not much you can do with this guy. Unless you use the little splash cap, that's even worse because then all the juice is exposed. It's just a bit of a nightmare. And also, as a slight complaint, for a sweet tobacco fragrance, this is a young man's fragrance. Us old folks, we can still wear it, but it may seem like we're trying too hard. Should you buy this? Definitely. CK1 Shock really, really surprised me. Extremely cheap, but has one of the nicest openings I've smelled in a designer fragrance. While its evolution on your skin is a bit of a devolution because it just gets a bit generic in its sweetness, you can't complain for the money. It's an amazing pickup, and it's a fragrance that I've personally owned 3 bottles of. So go give it a whiff because it's pretty easy to find. And that's my opinion. My opinion matters, don't get me wrong, but not as much as yours.